Mushoku Tensei might have just earned itself Anime of the Year with yet another sublime season. I don't think there's any anime out there that has potential to beat Mushoku Tensei this year, except maybe ReZero Season 3, and honestly, that's going to be a struggle. But if you don't believe me, then I have one sentence that's going to change your mind. Queen Roxy is back. That's right, our Supreme Goddess is finally back and getting the screen time she deserves in this season, but before we focus in on her, I want to talk about the season as a whole. Now, this is a warning that this will include some spoilers from here on out, so if you haven't watched it, then go and watch it and come back so I can hear your thoughts and opinions. But with that being said, this season was a straight 11 out of 10 for me. I mean, we were blessed with romance, action, emotional ups, emotional downs, and most importantly, serious character growth. I mean, we already know that Mushoku Tensei is one of the best isekais out there in general, but this season just proved it. So I'm going to start off by talking about the character growth that we got this season, because it is truly something special, and if we're talking about that, then I guess the main focus is, of course, Rudy and Norn. So I want to start off by saying I absolutely love Norn's character, and she is my favorite of the two sisters without a doubt, and the focus we got on her this season was a little bit of a blessing. We already knew going into this season that Norn was just not a fan of Rudy, and I mean, she used to look at this motherfucker and just wish that he got reincarnated as a fucking tent instead of her brother. And honestly, she was kind of valid for feeling that way. But the dynamic and growth between her and Rudy this season was done extremely well, with the ties to Rudy's previous life and letting him understand her feelings when she shuts herself into her room, etc, etc. But this whole arc between them was just something really special, and we really got to see a lot of growth all the way up to the very last episode of this season where Norn found out about Paul and Roxy. Which does lead me on to talk a little bit about my favorite part of this season, the journey through the dungeon to save the absolute MILF that is Zenith. But saving Zenith isn't what makes this my favorite part. As you could probably guess, it's the saving Roxy. I mean, the scene where he finds her is just absolutely perfect. It was already foreshadowed in season 1, but the way they did it was just amazing. Having the ice give off that blue glow onto her and making her truly shine like the real goddess she is just gave me feelings that I didn't know I could feel. I mean, I just love Roxy. Roxy is best girl. Roxy is life. Roxy is Roxy. But I do feel kind of bad that she did kind of forget who Rudy was when they first met, but that's probably because she was thinking about me the entire time she was down there. At least that's what I'm telling myself. But I was genuinely so gassed after they saved Roxy and we got to see them fight in the dungeon together. I mean, pretty soon after they save her, they end up in a little bit of a scrap and Rudy decides to cast a spell called Quagmire, and honestly, I can't blame him because being around Roxy makes me want to giggity giggity too. But I guess that's not important right now. What is important is how well and insane the animation and the fight scenes were with this entire gang versus the Hydra to save Zenith. I mean, Mushoku Tensei just does not miss with this kind of thing, and apparently neither does the Hydra because that fucker made Paul look like a peach and mango fruit shoot. But at least the poor little guy didn't get sent to the shallow realm for nothing, since he did manage to push Rudy out the way, and for that we have to say W Paul. And on the bright side, I'm sure he's happy that his death did lead to them saving Zenith and Rudy getting to pork the super hot waifu known as Roxy, since Paul did tell them to dual-wield wives. And if you didn't already figure it out, that's exactly what the king did. He's married to Sylphiette and Roxy, and now he's a fucking dad himself. I mean, this season just went through everything, didn't it? It covered everything. But the romance this season as a whole was just really well done in my opinion. We all know that I'm a sucker for romance, so getting those episodes that's focused around Sylphiette and Rudy at the start were just really fucking enjoyable to me. And I have to say, even though I do think Sylphiette is the worst of the three main girls, I do still love her, and this season made me love her a lot more than I did before. I just think her character was very well done this season, and I have to say it, she looks so much hotter with longer hair. I don't care what anyone says. But genuinely, I think having those kind of episodes at the start made the back half of the season even more exciting, and a big part of that is why this season is most likely Anime of the Year. It was just really, really impressive, and I'm really glad that we got greenlit for Season 3 already, because I cannot get enough of Mushoku Tensei. And honestly, I just can't wait to see what's to come. I obviously haven't read the source material, so I don't fully know what to expect, but I do know what I want. I personally hope we get to see Eris come back because I really do miss her. I also want to see a little bit more of Nanohashi because she's just cute as fuck. I also obviously want to see them heal Zenith and get her memories back, but most importantly, I just want more Roxy. But with that being said, make sure you smack that subscribe button and join me as we wait to see if ReZero can knock Mushoku Tensei out of the #1 spot this year or not. I personally think it's going to struggle because this was a very, very strong season of Mushoku Tensei, but as always, feed your goldfish, pet your dog, and pray to Roxy's underwear. Peace the fuck out.